Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite nerdy podcast. The podcast where we talk about everything pop culture, but especially comic books, movies, and anime. It's our 91st episode, so hit the like button just for that. Hit the like button. Smash it. Smash it. But that podcast being Comic
X. Weeba! Ha! Ha! Starting to hate the 4th of July. Ha!
I am your co-host, James, a.k.a. Comics for Cheap, a.k.a. hashtag Send It to James, a.k.a. Hulk Smash. And I got my co-host here with me.
It's your boy Chris, a.k.a. Black Santa, a.k.a. I'm sorry. I'm making a mistake here. I almost forgot. Dino, hit me with the music. There we go. I'll tell you, man, all these fireworks throw your game off a little bit. Black Santa, a.k.a. Man, this free agency has been crazy. It has gave us one of the best things in the entire world, Dino. It has gave us Derrick Rose, John Morant. Life is all about Guns and Roses. Bittersweet like friends and foes. Just like life. Guns and Roses.
Oh my God.
More guns than roses. A.K.A. Super Cold. What? Sponsored by nobody. We still don't got no damn sponsors. But I'm telling you, it's coming, man. 4th of July, all those fireworks out there. I'm telling you, by next year, you're gonna see Black Santa fireworks. You're gonna see villainous fireworks. We're gonna be killing it, man. I'm telling y'all, it's coming.
Sure.
It's coming.
Okay. Oh man, I don't want my name associated with any of this bullshit. I'll tell you that. I can't stand 4th of July, bro. And it's not even like when it's on a Tuesday and shit, they just be blowing that shit off. Like for 5 days, I've been hearing fireworks since last Friday.
Yeah,
every day. They can't pay their rent, but they got money for fireworks somehow. I don't know how. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like, goddamn, pay your damn power bill. What the fuck?
I know, man. They got the damn money for this shit, for damn sure. Don't forget, they got the money for the fireworks and the alcohol.
That's right. Welcome. Glad you could join us. Hit that like button for us if you're live or on the replay. We appreciate y'all chilling with us on July 4th special. Maybe we could talk about a little Captain America today. Who knows? I don't know. But we do have some stuff that we're going to kick it off with. Chris mentioned briefly during his intro with the sports stuff, the Guns and Roses.
Yes.
So let us know what's going on. What's going on?
Man, it's been a crazy free agency, man. I mean, obviously it started with the Bradley Beal stuff, and man, you talked about that, and then it just it spiraled into craziness. You have Kristaps Porzingis go to the Celtics in an unbelievable trade. Mm-hmm. They had to give up Marcus Smart, but getting Porzingis is just I hate to say it, but God, right now the Celtics are hands down the best team in the East, and it crushes my soul. But that trade was really good. He stays healthy. That's an insane situation there. You got all the stuff going on with Dylan Brooks after his fun time in Memphis. Now he goes to Houston with Fred VanVleet, which is also, that's just kind of a dumb move, but it's crazy. I don't know what Houston is thinking. They gave a lot of money to two guys who I don't think fits what they're trying to do. But you know what? Who knows? I don't know what Houston's trying to do. So maybe. All I know is two of their players were dry humping each other the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on
it's a video going around of
back it up. What are you talking about?
Josh Christopher and Jalen, Jalen something. And those two guys were dry humping each other, man. I mean, like one's on the bed and the other one is like pounding him, and they're making sound effects.
Sure.
It's almost as if it was a sex tape with clothes on.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
It was weird. It got really weird there. And what's funny about it, one of those players is like the best player on that team right now. And he just did an interview talking about somehow it's funny, he did an interview with Paul George, and they was talking about that if James Harden was to come to that team, it probably wouldn't be a good thing because James Harden would hinder his development, which is he sure would. But
his beard would tickle his butthole.
He's trying to get into.
Because his beard would tickle his butthole. Is that what's wrong?
Yo, James is like, yo, I ain't into that shit. Harden's like, nah, I ain't here for that.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, and speaking of James Harden, he demanded a trade.
Again. Oh, okay. Again.
So he's. I mean, this seems to be every couple of years thing now. After his demand a trade out of Houston, he goes to Brooklyn, demand a trade out of there. Goes to Philly, demand a trade out of there. So okay, now the big argument is where does he go? But the biggest and coolest thing to me, and it's what I said literally on the last time we talked about sports. I said it is time for Damian Lillard to ask for a trade.
Mm-hmm.
And Dame has finally, and I mean finally, demanded a trade. He wants out. He wants to go. The team I even said, Miami.
Didn't just ask for a trade. He demanded.
He's demanding a way out because he told them apparently before free agency. He said, "Look, I want y'all to use that draft pick to make some moves to make this roster better. I want some veterans. I don't want to rebuild."
Right.
But they didn't do that. They drafted pretty good kid. We'll see how he goes. And Scoot Henderson, we'll see how that goes. And then next thing you know, Dame was like, all right, had that meeting. He said, I'll give y'all a little bit of time. Let's see what happened on at least the first part of free agency. He's seeing all these moves happen, and he's like, nothing's happening here. Only thing happened, they re-signed a player to a pretty high contract, which was showing me they damn sure weren't trying to make any moves. And it showed Dame that too, I guess. And he said, look, I got to go. He wants to go to Miami. I want to say this real quick. I'm with Dame. It's about time he asked for a trade. Miami is the team I think is the perfect fit for him. Him, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Eric Spoelstra is the head coach. Pat Riley in that office. Heat mentality. That's a good move. But there's a lot of people saying that the Portland Trailblazers owe it to Dame to send them there. They don't owe Dame a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
They have paid him damn near over $500 million. I mean, they have done everything they needed in terms of money to him. Dame hasn't brought them a championship. Dame has not brought them to the NBA Finals. If Dame brought them a championship and has done everything he's done, that's a whole different story in my opinion. He hasn't done that for them. Okay? And, hey, it is what it is. They got to make the best moves for themselves. So, in my opinion, the best move they can make is trade him to Philly. If not, if they could somehow trade him for Jaylen Brown in Boston, which I have heard nothing about that being a possibility, that's the best move. But I don't know if that's going to happen. It could happen because they might not want to pay two Supermax players. So maybe that can happen. But the best move they can make that legitimately makes sense, that can happen, that I can see happening, is trading him to Philly, not for James Harden, because that's just stupid, but for Tyrese Maxey. Even though I like Maxey a lot, he's the only one I would trade for, because I'm sorry, the Heat trade with personally, I don't want Tyler Hero. It's not really a good trade. So the Philly trade is probably the best one. So the two teams I'm saying he'll go to will be Philly or the Heat. If not Boston in a wild card. Those are the only three teams I can see happen. Anywhere else, man, Dame's probably not going to be
happy. Not going to be thrilled with the getting out of there.
Not with the Portland Trail. They're going to be upset, man. But yeah, man, it's been crazy, man. But I'm hearing there's some crazy shit happening in hockey too, though.
Just what has been going on the last 7 days. They had the draft, which, of course, that kid that we were talking about, Connor Bedard, he did get drafted first overall. Dude looks like even tinier now than like what I was looking at before. I mean, I know he's like young. He's like 18, 19 or whatever, being called generational talent, like the best person to get drafted since Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid or whoever that they're talking about. But this dude's so tiny, like he's short and he's like real thin. Like he's just like he looks like a mouse. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how Final Dragon damn fireworks.
I know, for real, man. For real.
I don't know how he's gonna work out, or if they're just gonna like stick him immediately in the gym for the next 3 months to just basically his job is going to be to eat and lift for like 3 months straight. But yeah, man, that was not a surprise, I guess. But what has been good, I've been watching what the Canes have been doing, the Hurricanes, and they basically retained all of their talent. Like a lot of people were up for free agency, and they re-signed all of them. Except for maybe like one or two that were prone to injuries that they just let loose, which was fine by me. I don't mind getting rid of someone who was hurt pretty much half the season in the entire playoffs because they're not going to be any good to you anyway. And it looks like we picked up a couple of nice players too on the Hurricanes, and the Rangers have fired their head coach and funnily enough, picked up the coach that won the Stanley Cup with the Hurricanes, so that's their new head coach right now. They've just been kind of cutting players loose, but that's typical of New York because they sign all these big players towards the end of the season, or they trade for them or whatever, and then they just dump them after they don't win in the playoffs. And it's just like, all right, now I guess we start over with the youngsters again. And that's that. So I don't know what the Rangers are doing really. They haven't been making any huge moves in the last week, but looks like everyone's kind of jumping ship. All the people that they picked up right towards the end are escaping, and but the Hurricanes definitely are seem to be solidifying themselves for this upcoming season. So that's really all I got for on the hockey side.
All right, well, that's good, though. And that's funny because just like, the New York side in hockey, the New York side in the Knicks, and the NBA is always interesting, too. Even though I will say this year, even in free agency, they made a couple of nice little moves. They're still just missing that big thing. They got to figure something out with Julius Randle. But you said something that's fun and interesting about the guy who got drafted. And with NBA had the same situation with the latest guy, Victor, who went number 1 overall. Victor, it's his last name is always so hard for me to say. Victor Wembanyama, who is, say it with me now, the best draft prospect since LeBron James. This generational talent. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired of hearing that it's damn near like every 2 years. This is the best prospect since LeBron James. This is the best prospect since LeBron James. This is the best prospect since LeBron James.
Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama. Okay.
It's hard to say that name for me, man.
For sure.
Victor Wembanyama. It's so hard to say that name for me. I think I said it good that first time I said it, but still.
Wembanyama.
I know, man. But still, it's like I'm so tired of hearing that. But yeah, he's the kid they're looking at to say he's the next transitional player. Personally, I don't see it, but we'll find out. But yeah, it's just interesting, man. Hockey's going through the same thing. Here's the next big thing since
Vinyl Dragon says Victor Von Doom.
Like, okay.
I know, right? Montreal in the house. What's up, Montreal? He says they always have to compare someone to LeBron. See, that's the thing. I hate like comparisons even before they've even taken a step in a professional setting.
Me too.
Like, because I mean, these kids obviously they've never played professionally. We have no idea. How many flops have we seen come and go? Hockey is not as guilty as like hyping up the picks. Like I can't remember the last time someone's been as hyped as this kid is.
Right.
So they'll usually, I mean, because honestly, a lot of picks come from like Europe, Canada, Russia, wherever, where it's like there's not a lot of American picks, and so that might be contributing somewhat to this. Is this kid's American born? So like the NHL is kind of excited about that, so they're just hyping him up even more because of that.
That makes sense, yeah.
So that could be possibly a part of it, but yeah, man, it's like what you're saying with like this kid. Oh, who it's the best draft pick since LeBron or since Kobe or like hockey you were saying since Gretzky or it's like God, it's like no, let him play a couple games, see if you don't get the shit kicked out of him first, and then we can make a decision.
I'm so with that. I can't stand it, and I even hate comparison in sports. A lot of the times where they're just like they've been trying to compare Devin Booker and Jaden Tatum, who are like the two best young players in the league right now. And if you're not counting obviously like Giannis or whatever, but in terms of like just basically around that 25 and around that type range and everything. 26, 25. And they're like, oh, these guys, they've been trying to compare both those players to Kobe. But then when they do something bad, they're like, yeah, see, they're not Kobe. Like, stop comparing them to Kobe. And then when they mess up, you're like, they're not Kobe. Like, stop doing that. Let them be the first fucking Devin Booker. Let them be the first fucking Jason Tatum. Let them develop into their own player. Give them time. Stop making these wild comparisons.
Right.
For sure. God, I'm just so tired of it.
For sure. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. And like, especially with this kid, man, he just looks so small. And it's like everyone is the best from where they came from. Like that it doesn't matter if you were the first overall pick or the last overall pick. You were the best in your town, in your city, probably in your state. You were the best one. Welcome to the club. Everyone was the fucking best one now. So now let's see how you play against everyone else who was also the best one. Like a whole team of the best one. And not just like a whole bunch of scrubs that weren't on your level in your city. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, because that's exactly why in these draft picks, at the most, 5 players pan out to be pretty good. And then it's like, well, maybe this was the best draft class of all time. Yeah, what about those other, close to damn near 30 picks? What happened about those guys? What about those guys? What about the other 20-something picks? Because, like you said, they were the best in their thing, and now they're going on to play with the other best from their thing. And then, it's a whole different story. So I'm fully with you on that.
Montreal, I think, is talking about Victor Von Doom or whatever his name was. He said, I just don't know if he would be easily injured. He's too tall and lengthy. Saying he's looking like me is basically what he's saying.
He is right. He is looking like Trail a little bit. He is skinny and shit. This dude, he don't got no weight to him. Like, that's the thing. That's why I'm like, that's what always confused me about the comparison to LeBron too. If you're gonna make an actual comparison to a player like that, he needs to have the same build. This dude is the total opposite of LeBron. Like, LeBron was big coming out of high school. Like,
he was bigger than normal coming out of high school.
He's always been.
Yeah, he was definitely bigger than normal coming out of high school, and he only got like bigger. I mean, dude is fucking huge. So yeah,
and when you watch this dude play and you seen what he was able to do, and you look at how it was like, he's gonna translate really good from high school into the NBA. The way this dude body is framed, the way you can see things with LeBron and say, okay, he's gonna at least be a player. I didn't think he was gonna have as good of a rookie year as he had, but I mean, hell, I was like a young kid too, so yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, watching this dude, you're sitting there and you're just like, yeah, he's gonna ball, man. But when you look at Victor, it's like Victor Von Doom. It's like, bro, like, this dude is skinny. He's played overseas, and when he really played against guys who were like really bigger and stuff, he struggled heavily. So I don't know how he's gonna translate. Like, he's going to the Spurs, that's awesome, but I don't know how I don't think he's gonna be that good. I don't think he's gonna be a scrub, but I just don't think he's gonna be that good.
Montreal says it's setting people up for failure and just keep comparing. And then since they are too busy comparing Jordan and LeBron is breaking all these records and he can't even get his flowers.
Well, LeBron also had 1,000 years in the NBA to break these records. So I'm impressed by LeBron's longevity, but a lot of the records he broke is not impressive to me because he just had the time to do it.
You know what's funny is I actually just said something similar about for hockey. Me and my dad were just having this conversation, and we were going over Gretzky's stats, where like Gretzky's stats are just absurd, period. But the person creeping on it right now is Jaromir Jagr, who has literally he's like 51 and he's still playing.
Exactly. Dude
It's like, bro, like Gretzky retired at like 32 or something when he decided that like however many goals that he got in a month, he was like, oh, I used to get that in a weekend. I think it's time to hang it up. Like he just went out on top. He was like, I'm not going to sit here and watch my shit get lower and lower. I'm just going to go ahead and get out. But yeah, dude, like Yager is 51 playing in a Russian league right now. They like still going. Congrats to him. I mean, none of his shit really counts right now because it's because it's not NHL. But it's funny to see like, and then like the other one, Ovechkin was creeping on the goals scored. But he's also getting up there in age. Like, and all he do is just sit there. He don't have near as many assists. He just sits there in the one spot and gets the puck fed to him and shoots from the same fucking spot. And I mean, when you look at Gretzky, and if you take away all his goals, just take away all his goals, he would still be the leading point scorer in the NHL just from assists.
That's just insane. Now that right there is impressive and crazy good.
That's nuts. That's just like he just decided, you know what I mean? He just decided one season that he was just going to focus on assists and just like blew it out of the water type of shit. And I mean, like just to say, like, if I never scored a goal, I still lead the league to this day in points scored just from assists.
Yeah. That's the same, man. And that's the same when I look at it when I'm comparing like LeBron, Michael, Kobe, or whatever. And again, I'm a lot of people think there's some people may think I hate LeBron, but I guarantee you the biggest LeBron James fan, I know way more about him in terms of his numbers and stats than you will ever know. So it's not a thing about like I don't understand this dude's game. I understand his game to the highest of levels. I've been watching him from day one and will continue to watch this dude in awe. But when I look at it, it's like LeBron is an extremely overrated defender. Where you look at Kobe, he has all these defensive awards, first team, this and that. And you look at LeBron, like he's never had that because he's LeBron's best defensive thing is he'll chase your ass down and block the ball. That's the stuff people remember from him. But when the perfect example is when they went to the Team USA and you look at the stories, you read the stories, you look at the stories on YouTube, look at the stories on ESPN. Everything changed when Kobe got over there, and it was like, all right, Kobe became the guy who defended everybody's best player. Kobe was hands down the leader of the team. Like, there's a difference between those two players. There's a difference between the mindset you have to have. And LeBron has never had that killer, 100% killer instinct. He can get pissed, and pissed off LeBron James is awesome. But he's not that kind of guy. He's just not the Kobe or Michael aspect. And that's why players always viewed Kobe as better than LeBron. Only people who be like LeBron is better is a lot of the media and fans who don't truly understand the game. But when their own peers come on shows and say, no, the better player was Kobe, there's a reason for that. When you see all the younger players now, Jason Tatum, the guy I mentioned earlier, favorite player, Kobe. Devin Booker, Kobe. Kyrie Irving, who played with LeBron James, favorite player, Kobe. Because these guys see it and play against these dudes and see this dude is something else. LeBron has been great. It's been beyond lucky to not have the injury bugs that other guys have had, and he's been able to play. And not just the injury. LeBron is a freak of nature. In terms of a player, there is no player in NBA history with a better, like a bigger freak than LeBron, hands down. But when you have that longevity, like I said, a guy playing into his 50s, LeBron playing damn near to his 40s, you can break these records when you are a great player. And LeBron is an all-time great. You're an all-time great, and you're still able to play at that age. Like Tom Brady, you're going to break a lot of records because you're just able to keep going.
Yeah, for sure, because you're just in there. Montreal says, yeah, Kobe was different, for sure. All right, we can move out of move out of sports after I just say, because we haven't mentioned it in a while. Is there anything crazy going on in the baseball world? I haven't been following anything since the start of the season. I didn't know if anything notable has happened or not happened or anything that jumps out at you.
Nothing's jumping out right now.
No?
I'm just watching my Yankees do their thing and seeing how things go. I know one of the players.
I think someone got a no-hitter recently.
Yeah, but I mean a no-hitter. That's still like.
Yeah, there's only been less than 30 of them since the start of baseball. You're right. It's not a big. You're right. It's not a big deal.
Shut up, James.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like I'm just saying. Right now, the craziness is going on free agency. You see what's going to happen in football, baseball. Right now, it hasn't been anything too crazy. And right now, I'm still an angry Yankee fan from last year, and I'm just kind of waiting to see if Judge and the boys can stay healthy and see what we do. But yeah.
Montrell says Scottie Pippen be pissing me off. 1 minute he's saying Michael is the best. The next minute he's talking about LeBron.
That's what's. Hey, look, man. Look, to give Scotty this though, to give Scotty this, you would be mad too if Michael Jordan's son was banging your wife, well, ex-wife, whatever you want to look at, the mother of your children. Michael was banging you on the court. You know what I'm saying? As the greatest player and taking all the fame from you, and now his son is banging your girl. I'll be pretty mad too, man. I couldn't call him the greatest anymore, neither. I'll be like LeBron the best too if I was him. I'd be like, man, LeBron better.
Sure.
Banging my girl, man. I would say that's me. So I'll be angry too.
Pulling that bitch's hair back like it ain't nothing. Oh shit, Montreal says, yeah, I'd be mad. That's hilarious. I didn't even know that shit was going down. Final Dragon says, I see James with the sponsorship t-shirt. Yeah, this shirt is actually just real comfy as hell. It's one of them like super soft shirts. That's why I wear it.
No doubt.
I always feel weird wearing a Dr. Pepper shirt, but I'm like, it's so comfy that it's just, I'll wear it.
Hey, man,
all right.
I'm wearing my Santa suit. It's all hot and shit, but it's all good, man. Y'all don't even know. I got like these crazy things where it has like inside cooling up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
it's got like the North Pole frigid air coming through the suit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the power of Black Santa. That's crazy.
That is the power of Black Santa, absolutely.
All right. I know you wanted to mention an anime, Chris. You were talking a little bit on your Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following Chris on Instagram, Chris, aka Black Santa. That's what it is. At Chris, aka Black Santa. So go ahead.
That's exactly what it is. You need to follow me.
Yeah, go ahead and hit us with what's going on.
Man, so I was watching Mobile Suit Gundam Victory, and man, it's been a long time since I've watched the Gundam series, and I was like, you know what? I hear a lot of people talk bad about this series, and I don't remember it. This thing came, to be fair, it did come out like 1993, but that's not an excuse because there's a lot of great series that came out in the 90s.
Sure.
This thing, though, is terrible. The pacing, just shows you how that this was going to be terrible to begin with. So, like, the first actual episode is like episode 3, and episode 1 should be like episode 3.
What? Okay.
I know. Because when you watch episode 1, things are happening, and then you get to episode 2, then you get to episode 3, and you're like, wait a minute, the order of this isn't right. Because episode 3 comes across as like a flashback to a degree, but it's obviously not. It's not like indicated as a flashback. It's like, wait, is this supposed to be the first fucking episode? Yeah, they messed up how the episode should have been aired.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh.
So it already has a bad start.
Yeah.
And the pacing was already off from the beginning. And then it just continues to get really, 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 really dumb. Where, like, you know, a lot of people die off of some of the most stupid deaths you can imagine. And, like, God knows, I'm hoping some stupid death. No. A lot of just dumb things happen. And you're sitting there. And it obviously, you know, it came out in the 90s. So certain series just aren't going to age well. And this is definitely one of them. It looks bad. But I don't always, again, considering when it came out, I don't look at how it looks and say, all right, well, this doesn't look good. That's not where it needs to be. But it just looks bad for the 90s.
Huh.
Like this is something that should have came on like maybe the 80s.
Damn.
Like it just looks fucking terrible.
Looks that bad.
It's that bad. And again, and the characters are bad. The only cool thing was like the Victory Gundam and some of his upgrades got really cool. But like the main character is just a little chump. And you know, he has little mommy issues and everything, and you know, that's cool and all, but he's just a little chump. And like the whole thing is just like there's no characters that you can really be like, man, that character's kind of cool. Because even like the main female lead, she's just kind of stupid and just there. And she does stupid things too. And to be fair, Gundam has had that issue where some of their main leads, or female main leads, especially alongside the guy, comes across as like really dumb. Because like Gundam Wing which is a lot of people's favorite, and I love Gundam Wing too. But the main female lead, Huey's the main. Huro is like the main character, and his girl interest, she is just dumb. Like her decision making is stupid, and like I don't know if that's the thing with a lot of the Gundam series. It's just seeing that the female lead just does really dumb things, and it doesn't. It's just the series just fucking sucks, James. Not series, but the Victory anime is just fucking terrible, James.
Damn.
It is hands down the worst thing I've seen. Like I think I said in like 3 years, it really is. Like I can't think of in the last 3 years a worse series I've seen that I watched from start to finish. It was like, man, I can't wait. Not only I can't wait for this to be over, I'm mad at myself for watching this. Like I would literally just get angry looking at this shit. Like, why am I still watching this?
Right.
Why am I like this?
Life is too short to watch an anime that you don't like, Chris.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, I swear to God, that better not be a shot at fucking Cyberpunk. But yeah.
No. I still ain't been able to get into Netflix. Vinyl Dragon coming in with the old jokes here already. He says, don't worry, Chris, James was already 30 by then. I'm assuming what he meant like 93 or maybe even the 80s. I don't know. I don't know how old he thinks I am. I do look like I'm 73. So I keep trying to tell people it's just the drinking and smoking, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, no doubt.
But that is not the anime for you, huh? That is not the one.
It was not, man. It was terrible, man. Because again, I love Gundams. I really love that series. It has some, like I said, Gundam Wing, Hero and them boys was awesome. There's a lot of good Gundam series out there that I enjoyed, and this was one that I was like, no, this is bad. And to sum it up, the fucking creator of Gundam, the one who does like the most series, he's flat out said that he basically erased this series from his mindset. It's that bad that he's just like, no, this is like the worst thing I've ever created. This is the worst thing, period. It's not even viewed as like, it's technically like, if you want to say canon or whatever it is, but he's like, no, it's not. Like,
damn.
It doesn't even
he's like, get that shit out of here.
Yes, he's like washed his hands up. It's like, no, they have, if you watch a lot of the 90s stuff when they did like DVDs and all that good stuff, and they had those stuff, they would have like the creators and the guys like talking everything a lot, and he trashes the entire series every time he says something on it. Even on the damn DVD you'll buy for it, he's up there trashing the series like, no, this sucks. You shouldn't be watching it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So yeah, there you go.
All right, so don't watch that series if you're
no. Victory Gundam, stay away from it. Is just stay away from it. It is straight up trash.
But while we're on the topic of anime, and I'm not gonna say anything about Cyberpunk because again, for some reason Netflix just doesn't want us to have a Netflix account, so we have to
racist, man.
cancel Netflix. It's because I'm white. Yeah, it's because I'm white. It's all good. But we have to cancel our old Netflix shit and like restart a new Netflix, and I just haven't gotten around to doing it. So, but Warner Brothers in Japan has actually confirmed that they're going to Suicide Squad anime.
Okay,
yeah. What do you think about that?
I actually saw like a picture of Harley Quinn, and I was like, that's anime Harley Quinn. So when you were saying that, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what that was. And you confirmed that for me. Yeah. So that is interesting.
Yeah. There is a little teaser. Do you want to go ahead and throw it on?
Yeah, sure. I have not seen that. I just saw a picture of her. So I at least know how Harley Quinn looked. I haven't seen anything else on it.
Yeah. I really don't know much about it, but I don't even know like what the teaser really is or anything, but we're just going to throw it on right now because I just looked it up.
All right.
And let's go ahead and see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Until Waller showed up, I was like, this isn't Suicide Squad. It's just Joker and Harley.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, damn, this is really. It's the same thing we talked about before, though. And obviously, yeah, it's Suicide Squad, so Amanda Waller's gonna be there. But God knows she can always get work. It don't matter, man. Amanda, she will get her some work, man. She is all over the place right now. Like, hot damn. But no, that really was just.
I thought you meant she could get that work. I didn't know you meant. I thought you meant she could get that work. I didn't know you meant like she was getting.
Hell no. I ain't say that. Nah, Black Santa ain't say that. Man, hell no, man.
You heard it here first. Black Santa want to lay some pipe down on Amanda Waller.
Nah, I'm good. She can do what she gotta do. I'm good.
Montreal says that wasn't much. No, it really wasn't. It was some groovy music, and we got a lot of Harley Quinn doing Harley Quinn things, and a little bit of Joker. Yeah. And,
so the main character is definitely gonna be Harley Quinn for sure, huh?
Oh, for sure.
And Joker's probably the main antagonist, I guess. Yeah, that's all that really was, though. That definitely was Suicide Squad. That's the Harley Quinn and Joker anime. That's
what I'm saying.
They was like, oh shit, we gotta do something Suicide Squad. Show Amanda at the end very briefly. Like, so you know she's the, oh yeah, there we go, she's there. So Suicide Squad, she's putting it all together. Yeah.
Sure. Right. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. This isn't the Harley Quinn and Joker anime. No, not at all.
I mean, it could be fun. It will probably be absolutely ridiculous.
I think so too.
Yeah, it'll probably be just
over the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm expecting nudity.
Oh,
a legit sex scene.
Okay.
And a whole lot of people dying.
Sure.
In crazy ways.
Probably all at the same time.
Yes. And all I can say to that is anime. So
I mean, if it's still being front run by Warner Brothers, you still think there's going to be nudity and sex scenes, though?
That's a good point. Might look at it again. I gotta see who's actually in charge of it on the anime aspect of it. But maybe I might.
Maybe.
We still might get that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there was that weird sex scene in Killing Joke, so I guess it is possible. But yeah, nobody really talks about that.
No.
No. I guess everyone just tries to ignore how weird that shit was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching, I was like, this shit definitely was not in the story.
For real. No, it could be very similar to on a real aspect. It could be very similar in terms of like in a way tone to in a degree to the they had like that Batman anime that came out not anime, but that Batman movie anime about him going back to like basically Fruto Tokyo, Japan and shit, the Fruto era. So
what? I don't know.
Yeah, there was like an anime where he went back in time and like because like Joker and a bunch of the bad guys went back in time, was taking over like Fruto Japan, and like he goes back in time and like deals with it.
What? That's awesome.
Yep, and it was actually kind of awesome. It wasn't too bad, but it could have that sounds similar to that.
Damn, I need to look that up. Hold on. Batman and feudal Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Batman Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Shit, I might need to watch that later. Batman Ninja. Hell yeah. 2018 animated superhero film produced by Warner Brothers. He goes back in time. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Why the Joker looks so like ridiculous? This is
They really went into it. They were serious about that shit.
Bro, oh my god. Okay, I need to put that on the watch list. That shit looks awesome.
Yes.
I'll be getting high as fuck watching that shit. I'll be like, what the fuck is even happening? This is ridiculous.
Anime.
Montreal says one thing about Black Santa, he be knowing shit. Oh, I learn something new every time I talk to Chris. I swear to God, every time we do this shit, I'll be learning something new. So he did know his shit, that's for sure.
I appreciate that, my guys.
Oh my gosh. All right, so moving on from that, I think you wanted to mention the Hulk real fast.
Yes.
So you were saying because Disney Plus just acquired the Hulk finally, but I mean it wasn't like just now, maybe a few weeks back.
Right.
Actually, no, it was when Heroes was going on, I think. So it was only like 2 weeks ago
Right.
that they were able to put it on. But yes, so Disney has gotten back the rights to do things with the character, the Hulk, and be able to put him on like their platform and stuff. But unfortunately, Universal does still hold like distribution rights and stuff like that, which means it is still a complicated aspect of like making a Hulk solo movie if that's what they're trying to do. Because I know they seem to be wanting to point towards a Planet Hulk movie where they would actually like do it and show where Scar came from.
Right.
They just kind of threw him in the last 2 seconds of an episode of She-Hulk. Yeah, well, the Hulk is what they were saying they wanted to do and everything. But I don't know if that's actually going to happen, man. I really don't know what, like, if anything, if they're really going to have like the true rights to do something correct. And then if they do, I mean, we already kind of had like we already seen some of it in Thor Ragnarok. So what are they going to do? Are they just going to kind of show his rise to power? But that's not. He's not going to leave for the right reasons. He's just going to leave with Hulk. I mean, with Thor.
No, you're right. God, it is weird because like again, rights are something else, man. And with them still having the grand scheme of things, if they was to put out a movie, it's similar to like I think Marvel's biggest and you know they were talking about it way back when it was first doing the Avengers. They was like they don't think the Hulk is financially like he's gonna financially be good enough for them to like do a movie with him again like that, a solo movie. What's so weird about it is if they would have done it probably around that Age of Ultron, it would have been different.
Yeah.
But now they've watered down and punked the Hulk so much, I don't think a solo Hulk movie would do well.
That's what I'm saying. So Montreal says, I think that if they can do it with Spider-Man, they can do it with Hulk, I feel like. But Spider-Man will bring people to the theater, period. Hulk is not the same like attention grabber, I feel like. And especially now with so many superhero movies flopping on both sides, Marvel and DC right now, that they're just not bringing in the money in the box office. I feel like studios are not going to try to take extra chances, especially on a character like the Hulk.
Yeah, because that's the thing is much like Hulk is cool and awesome and all, but yeah, like Spider-Man is always a money getter. Oh, what Rob got? Good to see you, Rob.
What's up, Rob? Rob in the house. He says, I don't really see the Hulk being used in any type of leading role way to this point. They have allowed the property to be devalued.
Exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to. If you had done it a little earlier when it was at its peak, that would have been different. But now, again, like he's more of a joke than anything else. Like definitely a lot of casual fans, they're just seeing him as like in She-Hulk. He's a joke. He's just there.
You know what I want? I think what they should do is just do a World War Hulk animated sequel to Planet Hulk that they had, which by the way they took off of Disney Plus.
Did they really?
I'm furious about it because I went to go rewatch it the other day. I'm pretty sure they did anyway, but when I searched for it, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like it wasn't on there, or I couldn't find it, or something. I don't know. But I was not happy. But I feel like that's all they need to do, really, is just because that Planet Hulk anime movie was amazing. It was so comic accurate. It was really incredible how they did it, and it made me wanting the World War Hulk follow up. Like I was like, why didn't they just do them both?
Yeah, because again, that could be awesome. Because I know a lot. I've even talked to people like, man, what if they actually did do like a legit World War Hulk movie? And it's like that would be awesome, but that would be a whole lot of money they would have to put in. That I don't think they would be willing to do it because I don't think they believe in the Hulk like that. And I don't blame them if they don't in this aspect, but because just think about that. Like one, you're gonna have, and then plus it's gonna be long. And the link might not be necessarily a problem, but it's going to have to be because the first part of it is going to be him, and you're going to have to rush things, obviously. But the first part would be him getting betrayed by basically Illuminati. If you want to do it the best way, to make it the best way it can be, he's going to have to get betrayed by his friends. He's going to have to go to this planet. He's going to have to see the big bad. He's going to have to build a relationship with a group. He's going to have to get the girl, and then she's going to have to die.
Whoa. We just skipped over the most important part. He's going to have to lay that whole dick down, son. Put on some Marvin Gaye. You know what I mean? Fucking put the candles on right by the bed. You know what I mean?
You get Star-Lord to come in there and do that dancing scene like from Value 3 where he's just dancing it, man. Yeah, you got that too, the distraction, right?
Take out that 90-pound Hulk cock that and the bitch is like, how the fuck am I supposed to fit that? Don't matter. He gonna shove it up in there anyway. And then boom, now he got Scar. All right.
That's fair. He's gonna have to do that, and then because that's gonna be a crazy end credit scene where she's dead and this dude still survived.
We don't want to rush through that scene at all. In fact, let's put some extra. Let's make that scene like 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
15-minute Hulk sex scene with an alien girl. Yeah, that's the seller right there. Yeah, I'll go see it.
We putting asses in the seats. Okay.
Yeah, sure is.
We know how to do it.
Yeah, there you go. So again, at the 15-minute Hulk sex scene with all the above we just mentioned, and then he's gonna have the badass fight scenes with the different heroes, which again we don't even have a lot of those heroes there to begin. We don't have the X-Men. We don't have Sentry because that's the Sentry fight is the big conclusion basically of their fight that whole thing. You know, Black Bolt have to get his ass kicked, but I mean he gets his ass kicked a lot. So I mean.
Well, so that's the other thing is that, I mean, it's not necessarily like a what if, but it's kind of a what if story. So, I mean, if you were to try to incorporate it into the MCU, I mean, Hulk kills a lot of motherfuckers in that story. Whereas, like, you're going to just introduce the X-Men and then have them tear through them and, you know what I mean? Bodied. Like, the way it happens in the comics, it's basically like a 2-page spread where he just chops through half of the X-Men in less than a page, a flip, basically. Like, oh well, there went half the X-Men. So, I mean, just like that aspect of it. So many fireworks, ridiculous. That aspect of it is something to take into consideration too, because I mean, you're gonna have to nerf the Hulk down in this MCU where he's already been nerfed down, because you can't have the Hulk actually killing main characters that they need to progress whatever other story they got.
I mean, luckily for them, what they could do, because even the Hulk in that story, because remember, like, his whole thing was he went through those guys, but he wasn't even really trying. And another thing too, before I get to the main, well, I was gonna say something funny too. Definitely being a power skill, dude wasn't even trying. Like, he was just like, yo, y'all are in my way on y'all. Like, y'all are getting in my way. Like, y'all can easily just move to the side. I'm here for Pacific people. I'm not here to fight y'all. Right. Like, if y'all move to the side and let me just go to who I want to go to, I'm good. Like, he's bodying these guys without even giving a real effort until, like, you know, he had to against certain people. But he's just taking these dudes out and just trying to get the Charles with the X-Men. Yeah. And when you see the shit, like, what they can do, luckily, they can have it where, like, because he wasn't trying to kill any, like, human civilians. His whole thing was just trying to get to the people that he needs to get to. And when he got to a lot of them, remember, he had them like even fight, like he got Tony and he put them into a thing and had them like got their powers sucking from them, and they was like just fighting each other and shit, and like gladiator type shit too. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all kill each other. Like, I'm gonna let y'all experience what I had to experience. So there's ways you can kind of get around it with him just basically knocking everybody out. But still, the big thing would be, you're putting the X-Men characters in there just to get their ass kicked already.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the biggest issue, like you're saying.
We already had to watch the Illuminati die from Wanda. Now we're gonna watch the Illuminati die again.
Yeah, for real. Which honestly, like, yeah. Again, luckily they did use, like, and we talked about it when they first did it. They did use like some of the like lamest people outside of Professor X. You know. Reed being there is pretty cool or whatever, but you know, they didn't use the actual Illuminati for obvious reasons. But because straight up, honest to God, Wanda's not killing the actual Illuminati that easy.
Not that easy, but I mean, she is powerful enough, I think, to be a contender. God God damn, it's like a war zone out there.
I know, dude. Same on my end. Yeah, I know. It is, dude. It's like, God, you get worried that stuff's gonna come to the damn window. I know. What the fuck, man? These people is like, we look outside after the podcast, like people screaming. We didn't hear. It's actually a war zone out there. Like, oh shit.
All right.
I'll call you back. Let's do another podcast. Hopefully it's over when we're finished.
No, I mean, Wanda legit would be a contender against a lot of those, especially one-on-one. No.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No.
So I mean I didn't really have too much of a problem. It was, it was amusing. We were, I think, amused by how fast she went through them all, but in the grand scope of things, Wanda one-on-one against each of those characters, she would get the job done if she needed to. But yeah, now we're talking about just coming off of that with Doctor Strange, and then we're gonna do a World Breaker Hulk, where basically it's the Hulk mad at the Illuminati, and now he's gonna come after them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a thing, and then because it's so funny. I mentioned like Black Ball earlier, how he gets his ass kicked. Because because even in that, technically, because he's technically beaten the Hulk before, and even in their fight, especially in the comics, his whole thing, like he's fight, like Hulk shows up angry and he like blasts the Hulk down, and he's just like, "You're still the same," and he's like walking away. He underestimated him, and then Hulk just like bodies him. But don't get it twisted. That version of the Hulk still would have beat him. Like that just would have happened no matter what. But Black Bolt did technically beat the Hulk before, so gotta give him something. But he gets his ass kicked. Like he just shows up in the story, he just gets his ass kicked, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, Hulk wants to hear him scream.
I just want to hear you scream.
That's still one of like the best panels.
It is.
God, I didn't come here to listen to you whisper. I can't even hear you scream. That shit is fucking crazy. Rob says the best storyline they could go with is Hulk number 300, where Smart Hulk slowly devolves into Total Monster Hulk, and Doctor Strange banished him to the Crossroads dimension. That would be kind of cool. We do still have Doctor Strange. It would be a Doctor Strange type thing. We've seen the Ancient One knock through the Hulk in Avengers Endgame, so it could be something similar where to get like the astral form or whatever, to try to do something like that. But Hulk versus Doctor Strange, I mean, that could be kind of interesting.
Yeah, again, it could be. Again, yeah, it could be, and that's where things get so really. Honestly, the problem just comes down to it's just a Hulk movie just ain't gonna sell. I hate it. That is it. It's just not gonna do very well at this point in time.
Rob says, honestly, don't even why bother with the Hulk? Just focus on the Fantastic Four and the mutants and revisit the Hulk in a decade. I think that's fine. We could even have a different actor. It doesn't matter. I mean, we've done it before. You know what I mean? So revisiting the Hulk later in the future, or like I was saying, just have the animated World War Hulk movie and release that shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Straight to Disney Plus and just put it out.
Go balls to walls with it, man. Balls to walls, whatever the shit is. Start your balls on the wall.
Balls to the wall like a glory hole. Montreal says, I think they overdid it with Wanda. They only have so much time. They also cut a lot of that movie down.
They did.
So they could, Sam Raimi only had so much time, and it was supposed to be a lot more like horror type of a movie until Disney got involved. But I mean, if you really think about it, Wanda one-on-one against each of those characters, they just
she beats each of them.
They just sped it up.
There, she takes them out. Like none of them have a chance. Like Black Ball would literally have to like scream and get her like basically off guard and like try to blow her fucking head off, but she would still have a huge advantage over all of them. And because that's the thing, like Wanda, like legitly, that's a bad bitch. Like Wanda at max is on a whole nother level. Like she is an Omega level mutant.
Oh yeah,
and an Omega level mutant is a whole nother beast.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are something else. So she is because again, as weirdly as it is, technically, at least up until the knowledge, Professor X isn't technically classified as an Omega level yet. Which, again, I do feel personally he should have been.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's ever been actually classified as one. But Wanda is. She is something else. Now, obviously, there's people that can beat her. She's not the strongest by any means. But she is something else, man.
Apparently, according to Marvel lore, Professor X Charles Xavier is an Omega level telepath, but only an Alpha level mutant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's weird about that to me. I've never fully agreed with that. Like, I feel he should be an Omega level mutant.
Right.
Like,
how does that even work? How could he be Omega level telepath, but only Alpha level mutant? And still be classified as the world's most strongest telepath.
Exactly. Some of the feats this dude has done does not make sense to me. Like, how you say he's not an Omega level.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Because, honest to God, because him going one-on-one with Storm, like, and you can say, well, it's the way the powers work. I think he would, like, Charles Xavier Bloodlust against Storm. My money's on Charles.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And Storm, don't I get it twisted. I'm not trying to disrespect Storm now, because this girl can literally control weather on any planet she goes to.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. Any planet she goes to, she can control the weather to an extremely high level. Right. And she is a good leader.
Right.
Like, Storm is something else. But I really believe, like, her against Charles at his best and her best, my money's on Charles. And, like, hell, like, plain and simple, just kind of, I think Charles should be an Omega level mutant. Like, I just think it's ridiculous that he's not. Omega level telepath and an Alpha level mutant. Like, I don't, like, what?
Yeah, that is a little confusing. For sure.
Yeah, because, like, Jean's Omega level.
Well, of course.
So why isn't Charles? And it's not just Jean with the fucking Phoenix Force. Like, Jean herself is classified as Omega level.
Oh, just Jean. Jean
is classified as Omega level without the Phoenix Force.
Jean and a pair of jeans.
Yes.
his Omega level. Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess it's because she's telepath and telekinetic. Maybe because she could do both.
No, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't think she. Yeah, sure.
Control people with her mind and things with her mind, like, because she can do both and Charles can't.
Charles should be Omega level, man.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like what they were looking for with the classification.
I really don't know. I can't say for sure. It's like they just pick and choose, honestly, at times. Like, well, you know, this person's gonna be Omega level now. Because even when Storm was first announced to be Omega level, it was like not a backhand, but it was like an off compliment. Like, one of the Sentinels just scanned her, because, like, they did the initial list, and then out of, like, eventually one day, one of the this after the list, Storm was scanned by the Sentinel and was like, "Oh, she's Omega level," and then it basically was like
that's how they announced it. It was just a Sentinel.
She was Omega level. But even then, for years, the fan base was just like, oh, so now Storm's Omega level. And then it finally came somewhat recently, the last couple of years, they was like, yeah, she is an Omega level. So it's like they kind of pick and choose at the time when they want to turn somebody into Omega level.
That is interesting.
But with feats, Charles should already be that.
Yeah, I agree. It's like what Stan Lee has said before, where it just depends who's writing the story at the time, what they want, who they want to win, or what they want to be getting done is what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because yeah.
We made Montreal, by the way, put on Doctor Strange 2 just now. So enjoy watching that again.
What did he say?
He said y'all just made me put on Doctor Strange 2.
Well, you enjoyed Doctor Strange too.
Hashtag influencer. Hashtag sponsored by Disney Plus.
Sponsored by. Yo, where's some checks at, man?
Yeah, where's my $2?
$2. That's the deal we got. We got $1 each.
Yeah, we each got $1. Where's my $2?
Where's the $2? Oh, damn! I don't get nothing.
No, I definitely give you the $2. I don't care about the $2. It's just, where's my $2?
Where is the $2, man?
That's what I'm saying.
Damn. Break us off, Disney.
Shit. That's hilarious. Nah, but yeah, I'm with you. That, like, and speaking of that, I went. Disney actually released, which Montreal, you might want to put this on instead of because it's better. But Disney released a Stan Lee documentary, which was actually really really good. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. It really went into like, I mean, not just like about his life and everything, but just the history behind some Timely and how he broke into or starting Marvel and Jack Kirby and Ditko. I mean, it went into all of that, and it was really cool. I really liked it. I recommend watching it if you're into comic books or anything. It's quick. It's only like an hour, I think, at most. So it's not like you're going to be sitting there watching some long, boring documentary. But that shit was actually really, really good. So.
All right, there we go. Hell yeah. That does sound pretty cool. Good old Stan, man.
Yeah.
Good old Stan.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it was interesting to hear some of the stories of like, some of it I knew, but some of it I didn't know. Of just like how he came up with certain ideas, or like what the Marvel bullpen really looked like at its height, like in the Bronze Age when it was really just pumping out 60 comics a month type of shit. So we're like, and he was just kind of going and even their like creative process where he would tell Kirby like, this is kind of what I want for the story. Kirby would go draw it, and then Stan would write it based off of the drawing. So it wasn't even like they had a solid game plan where they like wrote the script out and then drew to that. Kirby would draw, and then Stan would make shit up. And then sometimes Kirby would throw him curveballs where he would draw something completely different from what they had talked about, and Stan would have to come up with a story based off of what Kirby drew for that particular issue. I just thought that shit was super dope.
That is cool. That's so cool. And man, we talked about it before, but God, Jack Kirby does not get enough credit, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kirby, Ditko. I mean, he goes into that a little bit too, where they had their arguments about who deserves more credit, like the person who came up with the story and the words, or who came up with the art and everything. But I mean, both of them obviously. It wouldn't have been done without either of them.
No, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been. But it's just, man, you don't ever really hear him getting the credit he fully deserves at all, though, because it's always really mainly Stan Lee, and it's just like, oh, well, Kirby was here too, but it's mainly just Stan Lee.
Yeah.
But man, that I'm definitely gonna watch that too, because that sounds really cool. Just to be able to listen to Stan and the way he put some of this stuff together, figure things out, and that just sounds really cool.
And just like kind of was landed an editing job because he took over at like the end of something, and they just needed someone to edit. And like 17 or 18, I think they said, he was basically like the editor of Timely towards the end, which is kind of crazy. So he was just like, I was writing stories, and then of course I was the editor, so I was buying all of my stories. And so, and since I wrote them, it didn't really need much editing, which that shit cracked me up. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so he was just putting his shit out. I thought that was pretty dope. Rob says, Storm can make it rain. Big deal. Professor X can make her relive the horror of being buried alive over and over again. She's done, son. Done, son.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Yeah, I mean, even in like the animated series, they went into a little bit where if Charles had lost control of some of his powers, just the mere projections that he sent out could torment the X-Men.
Yeah, no, it definitely could. Like, oh my God, yeah. Like, it's just crazy what he would be able to actually do to these guys. Definitely the information he knows on a lot of his teammates and shit. Like, oh man, it would be terrible what he would be able to actually do. Again, like some of his feats, like this dude was literally like communicating across the galaxy to people. Like he can do some crazy stuff that other mutants, telepaths just can't do. And it's like, how would you like? you classify Magneto as an Omega though, which I do think he deserves. Definitely with some of the stories that went after he was classified, because you can make an argument beforehand, like I don't know if he should be, but
could Magneto just explode the Earth?
Can he explode the Earth?
Since it's an iron ore core, could he
technically probably yeah he probably could
just fucking I'm all done with Earth. Poop.
Yeah, he probably could. Like Magneto fully going crazy and using the full extent of his power. Yeah, he probably could.
Okay. I've always been curious about that because I'm just like, I feel like if he really just wanted, shit to go, if he hated humans that bad, he just pile up all the mutants that he likes and do it into a rocket, and then on the way out, just fucking just pop the world. And I don't think anybody would really be able to stop him.
Yeah, unless you're like right next to him, you just like stop it.
No, you stop it.
Get a water bottle and just spray him like he's a cat. Stop it, Magneto. Bad Magneto. No.
Talk about this.
But like, oh man, there's some beasts out there, some crazy freaking mutants and crazy things that they can do, and it's just like, God, I'm definitely still that. It just reminds me again. I cannot wait for the MCU to try to figure this out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be good and bad, because it'll be good because obviously we're getting Fantastic Four and the X-Men, the mutants, everything. And even they're trying to like introduce more characters through, I think, this Deadpool 3 movie, because I just saw something where they just filmed a scene with Gambit. So I know they're bringing them in. They're obviously working on it and such, but it'll be weird because it's like we've lost all the other legacy characters, and so they're going to have to interact with these new characters. But maybe it'll take the focus off of them, and now we can build the stories with these guys: Fantastic Four, X-Men, first Marvel family, and then like one of the most beloved storylines of all time. Yeah. And so maybe we can focus less on like some of the other shenanigans that they've been doing and putting out, and more on them.
Yeah.
For a little while at least, until they figure out what the hell they're doing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they attempt to do.
Yeah, it definitely would be. It definitely.
I'd still love to see Magneto just crumpling Iron Man suits or something like that. I think that would still be really dope to see. I guess I could still do it with War Machine, but it wouldn't be as iconic.
No, it would not be. No offense to War Machine.
Yeah, no offense to War Machine. It's just how the fuck Iron Man going to stop Magneto when he can just crumple a suit down real quick? I think it's shit like that would be really cool. Or like him getting Cap's shield. Which again, I mean, we got Sam Wilson Cap, but it would just be interesting. Yeah, it'd just be interesting to see the dynamics between the two. But
God, that's just so many cool things. It's like fucking Iron Man when he makes his own like symbiote suit. That shit is fucking cool as shit. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of like certain cool things they could have been doing with Iron Man that we're never going to get it.
Yeah.
We're just never going to get it
until the reboot in 2040.
Yeah, with Riri doing all of it, she's going to be doing all those cool.
Yeah, that like, can you imagine being like 10 years old in 2040? You got to watch 83 movies to get caught up in the MCU.
To understand what the hell is going on now. Oh man, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. Jesus Christ, man. It's
marathon week at my house to watch all 83 movies of the MCU. Golly, that'd be ridiculous.
That's right, man. We're going to all go to Dino's house and watch it. Yeah.
That's right. Yep. Oh,
good.
Shit. All right. Well, I think we can end it there unless you got anything else to throw in.
I'm trying to remember. I felt like there was one more thing we were supposed to go to. I can't remember it, though. What Rob say real quick?
Rob real quick, he said, the main challenge I see the MCU having with mutants is where they will draw the line. Gambit and Jubilee were really the last mutants introduced in the X-verse before Grant Morrison created dozens. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could bring in some of the newbies, or they could. I think they're going to stick with like the original, like the X-Men. I mean, now that they have Fox, they know what's going to bring people back to the box office is nostalgia, and trying to create this original line. I think they're going to go straight up with the not with the original X-Men, but like the Claremont X-Men. I think is what they're going to go with.
No, I'm with you. That's actually interesting because what I think they definitely should do is go with like more closer to like the '90s X-Men or whatever from the animated series. That team into a huge degree. But here's where things get very fun. What I think they should actually do too is because you got a story now going on with Apocalypse and his wife Janice or whatever, and Jenna's whole mindset is the mutants of now are weak and they're chumps, they're punks. Because like her biggest argument was, well, remember when the Eternals send their guy to the mutant to I think it's Mars, the mutants they took over, and literally everybody up there was Omega level. Like it was nobody lower than Omega level. And he went up there and wiped out all of them by himself. Killed them all, including
Apocalypse. We're talking
not Apocalypse, but the Eternal sent one of their guys to that
planet. I'm sorry. Yes,
and he killed all of them. Like everybody who went at him, he took them out, including Magneto. But Magneto did end up being one of the two like survivors, basically. And then Magneto eventually got his revenge, but like that dude, like straight up, all of them jumping this dude, kicked their asses, like he was killing them. So the argument was like, look what happened. That would have never happened in the past. And then it was like, wait, what? And then you end up finding out that back in the past, like back basically when Apocalypse was like basically being, because he's like looked at in a lot of ways the first mutant or whatever.
Yeah.
You end up finding out, well, there was a lot of mutants during that era apparently. And that was the strongest, like basically everybody from that era was Omega level. There was nothing lower. And now they're saying they might have been even stronger than that. And Genesis is like, well, they've lost their way now. That's what she thinks. But Apocalypse is like, you don't know the half of it. Like some of these mutants now with the abilities they can do, no, they are not weak.
Right.
They're strong and they can do some shit. And if you go there and challenge them, you're going to die. Like they are going to eventually kill you. But she thinks opposite. So now that's a very interesting thing. But see, because what I want them to do is kind of mix that in there too. But the problem comes in while I'm thinking, how do you explain that? Because up until this point, we've had no mutants whatsoever. So how do you say that we had mutants back then? Well, where the hell were they? Why come they haven't interfered in any of these events that's popped up?
Yeah.
It's somehow when he snapped his finger, every single mutant disappeared, but yet not every single Avenger disappeared. That's just shitty storytelling.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I don't know how they're going to figure this out. I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought it was going to be something to do with Wanda, like in her how she controlled everything or the globe and just kind of introducing mutants. I know they have said the word mutant now a couple times.
With Miss Marvel's, right?
So we're just gonna have to see. I don't know. Oh yeah, I just wanted to quickly say the second Secret Invasion episode was better than the first, but it's still kind of whatever.
Okay, I did see the first episode, and I definitely was like,
Yeah. I mean, spoiler alert, but I mean, it was like it was whatever when Hill passed, but
yeah.
I was just like, still as far as like a whole episode goes, I was just kind of like, eh. The second one though, it was better.
Okay.
Yeah, it was better.
But the sad thing is, you're still kind of like it was.
I feel like it's going to be one of those where I'm going to have to sit and watch it straight through. I don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but I feel like maybe part of it is waiting week to week, and like it's going to be one of those stories that like it should have just been a fucking movie or two or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like whatever, or like an extended movie, and it's just like I wish they would have just dropped the whole season in one drop so I could just like consume it as like in one sit down type of thing, and then give my opinion. Because like if I'm gonna go back and forth on episodes, it's just gonna be like, oh, but then the overall it was good, but this episode here was not great, and this episode over here was not great, but this episode was amazing. But like, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
wish. I don't know. I hate that week to week shit. So I'm gonna have to see. I'll probably sit down and watch through them like all together when it's over and give my opinion then. Montreal says Secret Invasion was overrated. Are we talking about like the show or the comic or what?
I'm pretty sure he has to be talking about the show.
Rob says Secret Invasion was originally slated to be a movie. Well, there you go.
Oh, well, that, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that neither. That makes it feel a little disappointing, Like, damn, I wish it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Would have been better, definitely, as a movie, but
it'd also be easier to keep track of some of them because obviously they're all like shape shifting and shifting into different people, characters, everything like that. And it's like, oh shit, who was that? Who's this now? Who is he supposed to be now? Like, so that part is a little trickier to keep up with too. But I'll keep watching, and then probably at the end, like with the final episode, I'll just go back and watch it just start to finish.
Yeah, then you can get like a real idea of like, all right, I can give a real rating on what I thought it was, like whether 10 out of 10. Obviously, maybe it'll be that. You never know, but probably won't. But you get what I'm saying. You'll be able to give like a real rating on what it is.
Yes.
I guess like my last thing is that it's always interesting when you see how like the mindset and the different like how they do characters, and again, who's writing the story, who's putting the movie together, or whatever the case may be. Because it's like, instance, the Marvel Midnight Suns game, you have Wanda in the game, but it's not the exact same Wanda as like in the comics. It's part of it, but it's different because she's like younger. There's no like Vision type stuff. Instead, they're like heavily implying that your main character and her basically have like romantic stuff going on. Oh. And it's interesting to see how they done her in that game, and then you see how they do in the movies, then you see how they do in the comics. It's just always interesting when you see the mindset of how these people do things. And even with the Secret Invasion, it's like, I kind of feel bad though. At the end of the day, the biggest issue they're going to always run into is when you don't have the rights and you don't have certain characters, it just hurts the story.
Yeah.
And I feel like Secret Invasion, no matter what, will be hurt. No matter how they do their characters, no matter what they do, I think it's going to be hurt because they just don't have the right to certain people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, anything from print to screen is going to be changed. Yeah. And sometimes those changes are for the better, sometimes they're for the worse. But yeah,
I mean, Shang-Chi was for the better.
Yeah.
The way they did that character, that was for the better.
Sure.
I will always give them credit for that. They like I've always said, and I will continue to say, they took a B-rate, C-rate hero and turned this dude to a powerhouse and made him look 100%. Extremely good, and they did a good job by him.
Yeah. No, Shang-Chi was one of the better movies to come out of that phase. And yeah, I'm with you. Like, they took someone who, like, I was like, how are they going to do this movie? Like, who was actually reading Shang-Chi comics? You know what I mean? Like, who? But no, they actually made that shit into one of the better choreographed movies that has come out from Marvel. But yeah, no, with Secret Invasion, I think it's just going to be a matter of like me having to sit down and watch it straight through to give a true opinion. Because right now it's like I've got other stuff like it going on, week to week. I hate watching shit week to week, dude. I almost never do it, but with this, I was just like, let me just see. And now I'm stuck watching it week to week, and I'm just like, I'm just, probably just gonna fucking watch it all at the end, and then that way I'll be able to really give it all of my attention and just, form a real opinion about it.
I'm with you, man. It's just certain shows that it's like the anticipation, like forget The Boys. The Boys, the anticipation, was, man, I can't wait.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
That could be done right, but with the Marvel stuff, it has just not been like that, bro. It's just like, I gotta wait for with. Shit, I just want it to be over with. So
and then when you get like a filler episode, and it's like that week is the filler episode, I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn it, man, this is what I'm watching.
Yeah, with the boys is a great example. The Boys is an excellent example because that shit is one of the few that I'm like, I need to watch it every week, and it's just like every time I'm like, I just want to watch the next fucking episode, and I know why they do it, but I just really wish they would go back to the time when they would just drop a season in a fucking day, and just be like, here you go, and because God, I want to watch the whole story.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't want to wait.
Agreed, man. God, I can't wait for the Boys to come back.
When is the Boys next season coming back?
I'm seeing all these like teasers about it, so it has to be sooner, right? Like soon, right? I'm hoping.
The Boys. Amazon renewed The Boys for season 4 right when season 3 started.
Yeah, we knew that part.
Let's see. They're saying The Boys renewed for season 5, which will be its final season at Amazon.
But we're on season 4 now, right? Like, so.
That's what I thought. I thought there's only been 3 seasons. Am I wrong?
That's what I'm saying. So we're on number 4 now, right? Are we on 5?
Hold on, let's see.
I'm thinking we on 4.
Season 4 release date. There's been no release date for The Boys season 4 yet. Okay.
Okay, so they're just saying season 5 will be the last one. Okay.
Yeah, they're saying late 2023, early 2024 for season 4.
Give
we
me
still
a
got a while. We still got a while.
That shit literally could be December 31st. Give me a release date, man.
It could be even later than December 31st. It could be, they said or early 2024.
Oh, so or yeah, you're right. Yeah. And early, that could be February. That don't even have to be January.
Yeah, no, it could be March.
It could be March. You're right. In that 3 month, yeah, you're right. It could legitimately be March.
Could be April. God, that's the first 30%.
I'm thinking it is going to be March.
I know. All right, we're really gonna end it now. We're off for sure. Hit that like button for us if you're still with us live or on the replay. Smash it, mash it, that's right, subscribe. We appreciate y'all hanging with us. Hit it with your flop. You know what I mean?
Hit it with your flop. You know what that is, but hit it with
that's right. Yeah, hit it with that floppy flop. Right, as always, we ask you to stay villainous and
fuck the Fantastic Four.